Welcome to Metaphysical Soul Speak. I'm your host, Elena Fox Starks. Hey guys, I hope you're doing really well in this moment in time, and that whenever and wherever you happen to be on planet Earth as we hurtle through time and space, through this rocky part of the universe, I hope that you were able to pay attention to what's going on with the heavens above us. Not only with what's going on the surface, on the planet, but also what's happening up in the sky as well. What I'm talking about today was a lunar eclipse. It wasn't visible throughout the whole planet, just parts of it, not here in Ecuador and not in North America, but basically the lower half of the globe on the opposite end of the globe. So, from where I am anyway. Basically, Asian countries, I think Australia and New Zealand might have gotten a glimpse of the lunar eclipse. And I don't know, I feel like when you are working your way up to the full moon, you are increasing. So those are times to increase. So magic, affirmations, putting your intentions, setting your goals. That's a time for increase. You want to increase your beauty. You want to increase your fitness level. You want to increase your bank account. You want to increase love in your life or increase friendships. At least increase the intensity. Maybe you want to increase the time that you spend with your friends, or increase, the number of friends, or whatever. Or you just want something better, bigger, stronger. As the moon gets stronger, you do magic towards what you want that will be stronger. And when the full moon hits, anything that happens right after the full moon is decreasing, because now it's going to go back down and down for 2 weeks until it hits the new moon, which is pretty much looks like there's no moon in the sky. You barely see it, if at all. And then the very next day, you see a little teeny tiny sliver. My dad used to call that God's fingernail. Oh, look, honey, God must have been clipping his fingernails, and he left one in the sky. My dad had a lot of cute things like that, and just made me constantly wonder about God, which I really appreciate. I appreciated it then, and I still appreciate it now. But since today was a full moon, and all the things that are going on, I don't know about you guys, but it just feels like the astrology has been so dark, and it's been so intense. And this is the time for the fall of empires. This is the time for revolution. This is the time of great social change, and bada boom, bada bing. That's exactly what's happening with the Black Lives Matter movement, with everything. People are waking up to a lot of crazy things. These aren't theories anymore, baby. These are conspiracies direct. So it just seems like it's a good time for magic. And all week, people have been putting out posts of basically witches against racism, otherwise known as WAR, W-A-R, witches against racism. So, So there's been a massive call for shamans and witches and all kinds of people to cast spells and hexes and throw curses at these people. And I can't remember the city where this happened now, but today the police didn't want to deal with any protesters, so instead of allowing the peaceful demonstration to take place, they went out and they threw a bunch of canisters of tear gas, and immediately the wind picked up out of nowhere and shifted in the direction of the police, and they ended up tear gassing themselves, and the protesters were completely unaffected. That's magic out work, baby. Oh my God. Oh my God. We are powerful. We are strong, and we need to pay attention to when is the time to throw up the strongest spells. This full moon was it. If you had anything to get rid of in your life, this is the time. 2:12 this afternoon, Ecuadorian time, is when the moon was full. So at 2:13 and any moment after for the next 24 hours is the exact time to start magic of decreasing stuff. So this is decreasing the number of bills in your life. You know, the opposite side of instead of increasing your finances, you're going to decrease the amount of bills you've got. Decreasing the amount of fake friends you have. Decreasing the amount of time you spend on just the junk in your life that you don't need, such as constantly scrolling through your email or your Instagram or Facebook or Twitter when you have better things to do with your life. You know, so this is a time to declutter. This is a time to declutter not only your closets and paper messes. I always call them paper messes. You know, luckily I'm in a place where I don't get mail at all. I can't imagine going back to a world where I get a foot tall stack of mail every day. I mean, I had whole weeks like that. It's like, what the hell am I going to do with all this paper? You know, in Detroit, actually, when I left, the guy that took over my house, you know, to live there, he ended up fixing the fireplace. He made it nice, cozy, and warm. And now, if I had all that junk mail, I'd know what to do. Fire starter. Thanks for the free fire starter. But I live in a world in Ecuador where, I mean, even if someone does mail you something, chances are you're never going to see it. I mean, like 97, 98% of chance that you're never going to get the thing you ordered. Never going to get that thing in the mail. I actually got a random piece of mail. I didn't even know the mailbox. I thought it was decoration in my old apartment building. I got a tax statement from Social Security. Blew my frickin' mind. How the hell did a normal mail get in my mailbox? And how did nobody steal that, knowing it was mine? I mean, that just blew my mind. Anyway, this is the time for magic, and for me, magically, it was a very good and productive day. Today is a time to, if you need to, reverse a curse. If you need to cast a curse, throw out a few hexes, you need to throw some shade on someone who has been instrumental in your demise or downfall or destruction in some way. This is a time to do it. You know, now I'm not really for black magic at all. But I'll tell you what, sometimes you need to defend yourself. This is the time to not cast a spell against the police, I don't recommend that at all, because there are a lot of really good policemen out there, and thank you, Jesus. As my mom used to say, I'm saying this tongue in cheek, but also I love Brother Yeshua very much, but it has nothing to do with Jesus at all. But thank the heavenly stars that this past week there's been a lot of demonstrations of police officers taking a knee, finally. And I don't mean to the groin. I mean bending down on a knee to show that Black Lives Matter. Thank you. Thank you for that. Especially if you're one of those police officers that hugged a black person and said, I got your back, don't worry. I literally am here to protect and serve people, and not just the police force. So I'm grateful, because a few days ago I was angry and I said, no, I don't think it's even true anymore that there are any good cops out there. When my friend Yo-Yo retired, I thought, well, there goes the last good cop. And you know what? I'm glad I was wrong. I'm so happy there have been so many demonstrations of outpouring of love from the police to the people, where they refuse to tear gas the people. Now, and then there's other cities where it's just the opposite. So instead of saying, I'm going to throw out a hex, or let's throw some shade on the police, don't do that. And don't specifically throw shade on people, but you can say the words, violent oppressors of black people around the world. That way, anyone who is, so like your general run-of-the-mill racist person who's like your great Aunt Tilly or your grandma, you don't want to like cast a hex on your own grandma for, being raised a racist and never changing her opinion. It's annoying and you got to have a hard conversation with her, but you don't have to hex her, right? So what I've come up with is, if you say, violent oppressors of black people around the world, that will be good enough for a spell. That way, so the bad cops will get it, but the good cops won't. And you could put a clause in there, if this is what is happening, let them get all of their violent karma back on them within the next 72 hours. Or you could say 1,000-fold, or you can say their exact karma, let it be retributed to them this week, by the end of the week. Instead of, taking 20, 30 years for that karma to be doled out, let's do it this week. Let's do it this weekend. That's some nasty stuff. If you get, can you imagine all the bad karma you've got coming your way over the course of the next 20 years that will be doled out too slowly? Papa tired this week, next week, I don't know, ice from an airplane falls through your house. And it's from the airplane bathroom. Whatever your karma is that you got coming to you. Can you imagine if all that happened in like one day or one weekend? That would be crazy, right? And the reason why I love this kind of an idea, hey, if you've ever done violence or oppression of black people, you're going to get your karma in the next 3 days. And I love this because if their karma was not anything bad, they would get good karma. So I love the caveat of that. If someone does something good for you and you have the idea in your mind that they're doing bad, but you do a spell like that, and then all of a sudden you see it and all of these good things are happening to them, then you could realize, oh man, at least I did the right spell, because I was wrong. And look, all this, they just got flowers. Oh my God, they just won $50 in the lottery. Oh my God, their best friend just brought them a birthday cake. This is amazing. Well, then that means to me that they are a good person and they never did what I thought. So my perception was off. That's just the way I do it. Unfortunately, when I have had to cast against somebody in particular, I literally had a ringside seat. I was staying around the corner, and I witnessed 3 of the most horrible things that could happen to a homeowner happen within 48 hours. I mean, like serious karma, like she lost her whole wardrobe. And thousands of dollars in plumbing needed to be done. So I love when justice is served on a platter and you get to sit on the sidelines eating popcorn and watching it. It's wonderful. It's a wonderful feeling. It's revenge, in a pure form, So anyway, a good woman does not kiss and tell, and a good witch does not hex and tell. So I'm just gonna say, leave it at this. It's been a really good day magically. So if you guys still want to do magic for the full moon, you have until about 2 o'clock tomorrow afternoon, Ecuadorian time, 2:12. It takes about, 24 hours, but you could still, even like 2 or 3 days later, if you hear this 2 or 3 days later, and you're like, oh, damn it, I forgot to do something I wanted to do. You can still do it. It's just the moon will be completely full. And that's when you have the most power, at least from that energy source. But you can do magic anytime, day or night. Doesn't matter, day or night, or any day of the week, any day of the month. You just have to call your energy powers from different sources. So this is a good time for ancestor magic because of the way what's going on in the world, as well as just the energies out there. So wow, I just got hit by a lot of, I don't even know what right now, cosmic radiation. Yeah. Whew, here we go. It's been really, really cold in my house for hours now. It's 53 degrees outside, and it's been raining like crazy, and the ice cold air, the ice cold Andean mountain air has been blasting us under our doors for hours now. It's only 53 degrees, but it feels really cold in here. But are there any spirits in here that need to go to heaven? No, absolutely not. So it's not that, because that does make you feel cold. Anyway, I wanted to talk to you guys about what full moon this is according to the Farmer's Almanac. So you have to go to almanac.com. That's spelled ALMANAC.com. Almanac. All right, so they say that June's full moon, typically it's the last full moon of spring, and sometimes it's the first moon of the summertime. Traditionally, it's called the strawberry moon. How adorable. They say at the Old Farmer's Almanac, they say, we have long honored the Native American moon names and the folklore of those who came before us. We follow the full moon names that were used during the Native American and colonial times to help us track the seasons, usually from the Algonquin tribes who lived in the same areas as the colonists. Now, the name Strawberry Moon originated with the Algonquin tribes in eastern North America who knew it as a signal to gather the ripening fruit of wild strawberries. Alternative European names for this moon do include the honeymoon, love that, and the mead moon. Well, I might love that a little more. Mead, M-E-A-D, like honey mead, which is a form of wine that they made a long, long time ago. But you know what? You could still do it today. And I love that. I have a friend in Chico, California, that her and her husband made mead once a year at Halloween and gave that out to their friends. I thought that was kind of really unique and original gift for sure. Anyway, this has also been called the rose moon, and it's because so many roses come to life during this part of the year. A lot of flowers. A lot of flowers this time of year in the Northern Hemisphere. So they say, did you know that June was traditionally the month of marriages? Well, yeah, we obviously knew that. But it's even named after the Roman goddess of marriage named Juno. I bet you didn't know that. Okay, that didn't work out. Funnier in my head than in real life. But Juno, the Roman goddess of marriage. And this is her month, June. So following marriage comes the honeymoon. And that might be tied to the name of this full moon. Sometimes this moon, as I said, is not only the mead moon, it can also be the honeymoon. So I thought that was pretty neat. Okay. I'm being bombarded by a bunch of radiation right now. It's kind of freaking me out, just to be honest. I had so much energy, and then all of a sudden it just hit me, and I feel like, time to sleep, take a nap. I don't know. Let's see, where are we? All right. I wanted to let you know, before I get into this, that I did not have internet for about 6 hours last night. It was so annoying, and I couldn't get my... I started recording the last part at 1:44 a.m., and I finished at 2:44 a.m., which I thought was absolutely crazy. It was like 59 minutes and some change. And I was really excited. I thought, oh man. All right, I'm only 45 minutes late. This can be awesome. And it was a very powerful episode last night. So if you guys feel like listening to it, it was, if you need some inner shadow work and inner child work to be done, this is how you're going to get it. Yesterday's show, it's chock full of information from Prime Creator on, I don't know, it's just on your chakras and healing your emotional body. And I'm going to tell you right now, it's powerful. If you're not ready to heal, you don't want to listen to it. But if you're ready to raise up to the next level, spiritually speaking, last night's show was a great channeling. So it wasn't my ideas, it was the ideas directly from God. So I had a conversation with God, if you didn't hear it. So anyway, there's that. Something cool to look forward to during the weekend. For me, this is my last day of the week, and I'll be back Monday. But all right, where we are now, current conditions in spaceweather.com is that the solar wind speed is 318 kilometers per second, and the sunspot is still visible from solar cycle 25, which is pretty cool. It's the same one, sunspot number 12. And the thing was that I loved about this is I heard today that the sunspot itself is twice as big as Earth. And there's all this crazy volatile activity happening. So we might get bombarded or lambasted by a massive ball of plasma, like over a large period of it's going to be huge. And it's a couple different things going on. We get the cosmic radiation, we get the solar winds flowing, which will be here in the next couple days. And then if this thing blasts off while it's facing Earth, that's a lot more DNA upgrades for us. So, and boy, I'm telling you right now, we're getting something. I'm going to see. Oh my God, you know what? It's the 6th, where I am now. It's just a few minutes into the 6th, which this was the day I read you guys a few days ago that we were going to be hit by the solar winds. I'm telling you right now, it's happening. Absolutely crazy energy right now. All right, I'm going to keep trying to move on. I could barely keep my eyes open again. And I know it's not... I know this time it's not allergies. So, wow. All right. Solar cycle 25, but we're on sunspot number 12, and I can't believe it's like 2 Earths across. That's how wide it is. All right. Ulu neutron counts are up by 7.7%. This is now today it's at 9.8%. I'm going to try to actually rewind this page, refresh the feed just to make sure, because a lot of the things are similar as yesterday. So while I wait for that, I wanted to let you guys know that I guess it's here. All right, let's do this first. Okay. Oh, goodness. You know what? It is actually sunspot number 13. Oh, my God. So that's the only thing that changed. There's a huge picture of the sunspot on the sun. If you want to check it out at spaceweather.com, it's actually a really cool picture. All right. The NASA All-Sky Fireball Network. They say on June 5th, the network reported 4 fireballs, so I guess it's too soon to tell for today. All right, and this, Disclosure News.it, I said already 28 hertz frequency was the highest frequency of the day. It's not very high at all. Okay, in the magnetometer of GCMS, the Schumann Resonance power, and this is in the website heartmath.org, which is from the HeartMath Institute. This is what they report now. They're a couple days behind. So for June 3rd, this is what they reported. In California, the Schumann Resonance was 89 hertz frequency, and in Hafuf, Saudi Arabia, the Schumann Resonance is 107, and or at least was on Wednesday, the 3rd of June. Lithuania was at 192 hertz frequency. Alberta, Canada was at 180 hertz frequency, and Northland, New Zealand was at 80 hertz frequency. And last but not least, we have, oh my gosh, seriously, I'm just like so drawing a blank because of this cosmic radiation. It's causing confusion and crap. Is this, okay, all right, I'm asking my higher guidance, does this have to do with the spell I did earlier? No, okay. All right, so it's 152 hertz frequency in Hululu, South Africa. There we go. That was nuts. Definitely needing to sleep. Wow. Massive cosmic radiation. Yeah, I couldn't believe yesterday I didn't have internet for like 4 or 5 hours. And it was really annoying. When you're borrowing the neighbor's internet and they might have forgotten that you are doing that. You don't want to knock on their door and go, hey, can you reset that for me, please? But hopefully this coming week I'll have my own internet. This won't be an issue any longer. Okay. In A Course in Miracles, we are on lesson 307. And this is what it is. Foundation for Inner Peace website, by the way, at acim.org. Okay. Lesson 307. Conflicting wishes cannot be my will. Conflicting wishes cannot be my will. Father, your will is mine, and only that. There is no other will for me to have. Let me not try to make another will, for it's senseless and will cause me pain. Your will alone can bring me happiness, and only yours exists. If I would have what only you could give, I must accept your will for me and enter into peace where conflict is impossible. Your Son is one with you in being and in will, and nothing contradicts the holy truth that I remain as you created me. And with this prayer, we enter silently into a state where conflict cannot come, because we join our holy will with God's in recognition that they are the same. Again, thought of the day from lesson 307 is, conflicting wishes cannot be my will. So there you have it, guys. That's A Course in Miracles, acim.org. And I'm going to take a quick break. And when I come back, we are going to be talking about world news, weekly world news, and basically the earth changes and the strange news right after this quick message. And I'm going to take a nap because I'm overwhelmed with this cosmic craziness. So I'll be back right after this. If you haven't heard about Anchor, it's high time you did. It is the absolute easiest way to make a podcast. First of all, it's absolutely free. Second of all, they have creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or your computer. You guys have known that I've been doing this for 8 months using the Anchor.fm app right on my cell phone, and I have done it everywhere, right? I have recorded this in my living room, my bedroom, little cafes in Quito, Ecuador, all over Cuenca. It's so absolutely easy to make your podcast, and editing is just a snap. Anchor also will distribute your podcast for you, and it took me about 2.5 months to become syndicated, and now I'm available on Spotify, Apple Podcast, and many more, and so can you. You can make money from your podcast also, and there's no minimum requirement. You get paid from your very first listener. It is everything that you need to make a podcast all in one place. So please, if you are interested in making a podcast of your very own, do not hesitate to start with Anchor. Download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started today.
We can make a difference in our own small way.
Just one small change, we can do that today. Our mind's getting bigger while the world's getting smaller.
But saving the earth's becoming a tall order.
From the minute you awake from your nightly nap,
You can make little changes like turning off the tap.
while brushing your teeth in the bathroom.
You can cycle or walk your way to the classroom.
Cut down the fuel you use to get to school.
Pile in, let's cancel.
In your lunchbox, cut down the plastic. See, these things aren't too drastic. Spread the word, get vocal.
Make it go global.
When buying food, stay local.
Never mind the dishwasher, do it by hand. But I hate washing up.
Ah, come on, it's grand.
Just one small change in the little things we do. We'll show you how, and now it's up to you. It's our future.
It's our earth.
We need to protect it for what it's worth. It's our future.
It's our earth.
We need to protect it for what it's worth. Since we found out the earth was sick, we knew we had to do something quick.
The earth is our family and our friend.
We need to mend it before it ends.
This is our home, so don't destroy it. Everyone should do their bit. Ice caps melting, seas getting high. Homes will be flooded. Polar bears will die. The sun's getting hotter, the rain won't fall. I'm afraid we won't survive at all. Recycle the plastic, please, it's free.
You don't want that ending up
in the sea.
It's like people use this planet as a bin. Take up your trash, that's where you begin.
Temperature is rising, we are realizing. We must act now, there's no compromising.
Just one small change in the little things we do. We'll show you how, and now it's up to you. It's our future.
It's our Earth. We need to protect it for what it's worth.
It's our future.
It's our Earth. We need to protect it for what it's worth.
If you cut down flowers and trees, you contribute to the mass extinction of the bees.
Think of the creatures that don't have a say. There has to be a better way.
There's no higher being to save the earth. We've got to do something before we get hurt.
At school, we know what to do.
But my question is, do you?
Just one small change in the little things we do.
We'll show you how, and now it's up to you. It's our future.
It's our Earth. We need to protect it for what it's worth.
It's our future.
It's our Earth. We need to protect it for what it's worth.
Just one small change in the little things we do. We'll show you how, and now it's up to you. It's our future.
It's our Earth. We need to protect it for what it's worth.
It's our future.
It's our Earth. We need to protect it for what it's worth.
Well then, so I laid down for a 30-minute nap, and apparently I snoozed my alarm for close to 4 hours. That was some heavy-duty energy we just got. Were you guys feeling it? Did you catch that too? This was nuts. I can't believe it. I mean, I believe it, but wow. We haven't been blasted like this in quite a while. Quite a while. So I have had a lot of electronic anomalies. I'm not going to go into it. Technical and boring type of thing. But by the way, I didn't get my show out till very, very late yesterday. In fact, 10 o'clock in the morning. I kept waking up every couple hours and nope, still no internet. And that's what had happened to me yesterday. Went to publish the show. I was so excited. Yes, gonna get done on time. Getting ready to sleep. And then all of a sudden, no internet. Oh my God. Just threw my schedule off, threw everything off. So I've had weird delays, setbacks, just a lot of odd things, a lot of things with, I don't know, just a lot of things I can't even explain. I guess I can explain some things. Like I paid my rent via PayPal because PayPal said that, of course, we're in all these countries. So I convinced my landlady it's the easiest thing. And then when I paid her and everything was fine, and when her friend's account, when he tried to put the money into his bank account, they said, oh, we only do that in the United States. So we'll cut you a check. And here it is, 3 weeks on Monday, I'll be here. Living here. They didn't even get the check yet. Like they didn't send it. And so there was that. And a lot of different things with money. A lot of things with electronics. A lot of things with delays of what. And odd things. Like when we first moved in here 3 weeks ago, we were told that every single week the vegetable people come around, the dairy people come around, the meat and fish people come around, and that I was going to be put on a list. Well, she didn't remember to put me on the list, or she didn't because they only come around once a month, even though I was told it was a weekly thing, so that was weird. I don't know if it might have been a miscommunication, but it seems like people need to eat every week. So a lot of strange delays like that. Our town had been put on yellow alert, and our curfew was extended till 9 o'clock at night, and it was just rolled back to 7 o'clock at night. So coronavirus, still remains a thing, even though out of 400,000 people living here, I think we have like 480,000 people, so almost 500,000 people living in the city where I live, basically. Not town, it's a city. And only 382 people have the coronavirus, but it turns out that one of the old presidents from a long time ago, long before I lived here, the old president and, I don't know, his band of thugs had stolen a bunch of medical equipment, including COVID-19 test kits, and went ahead and millions of dollars worth of stuff, and sold back these items at a premium rate for a lot more money than what they originally cost. And he just got caught. He got arrested. There's going to be a mass protest here about that, scheduled for I think tomorrow. So that's just crazy. That's some of the crazy news over here. And in the middle of the pandemic last week, our tramvia, it's a tram that runs on electric, they decided randomly to, hey, we reopened the tramvia and we're giving free rides. So I don't know how the lack of social distancing on the tram figured into anybody's plans, but it ran like a normal day and tons of people went on it. And now our curfew has been rolled back. So one step, 2 steps forward, 1 step back, I suppose. It's still a little bit of progress, but hopefully this coming week I will still get my internet, and we'll see what's going on with that. But really crazy. Just the news has been nuts. We're gonna go to Earth changes right now and talk about it. I'm sorry, watchers.news to talk about the Earth changes. So this really hit me like a whammy. Like, earlier I had done some magic that basically helped my mental fog that I'd been feeling and lack of clarity. All of a sudden, boom, I was feeling incredible, on top of the world. And then while I started doing the introduction, I was like, oh my God, I'm feeling like really crazy, like really tired and sleepy and just disoriented, and I had to lay down. Maybe I was abducted, I don't know. I don't know why they can't wait a freaking hour, if that's what happened. But let me ask my higher guidance. Am I connected to you? Answer yes. Was I just abducted? Was that just cosmic radiation? Yeah, that was massive. I even have a headache from it. It's tinnitus, mostly in my left ear. You guys might be feeling that too. But I feel like an energetic buzzing and very, very high vibration. Like my body is trying to adjust to a very high vibration again. So, yay! We are moving up. Feels like it's taking forever, but this is happening. We've been in the fifth, most of us have been, if you're listening to this, you've been in the fifth dimension for a while. At least at the very lowest parts of the fifth dimension. And I think that's why some of the social changes and political changes are happening. Lights are being shown where they need to be. Ironic that the lights were shown so bright that the White House went dark. Crazy, right? And the witches, we are out in full force. And no longer will anyone be able to hide. with their racism or with their anything, abuse, or none of that is going to be allowed. It's not allowed in the fifth dimension, so the pressure and the heat is on. Will we pop out the diamonds or just a bunch of lava flows, Well, let's go to Earth Changes and see what's going on. It'd be hilarious if there's a bunch of lava stuff, but no, I don't think so. Ooh. Time for the reading glasses. There we go. Okay, I'm just going to read the headlines. If something's very interesting, I'll go to it, but here we go. Record rains cause widespread disruption, trigger hundreds of landslides in Yunnan, China. Oh my God, hundreds of landslides. What the hell? Well, you guys, let's just send some prayers to the people of China. That's crazy. All right, and that was reported on the 31st of May. No news for the 30th. Tropical storm Amanda hits Guatemala. Oh, man. Hits Guatemala and El Salvador, leaving at least 11 people dead. Very heavy rainfall falling across Central America. Man. Yeah, my son got a strange email or warning, or I don't know, not a warning, alert, I suppose, from a group of people in San Pedro La Laguna at the lake, saying that some kind of, I don't even know, a chemical was available. And we just kind of looked at each other like, what the hell? Now I realize maybe people died. And there's a disease that you get if you don't bury the dead right away. Quinine, or I don't even know. I mean, the name of the chemical was very strange. Like sodium hydroxyquinine, I don't even know. But my son and I were just like, what? That's odd. Now I realize it might be because they're afraid of getting, oh my God, the only word coming to my mind is malaria. See, that's not what they're trying to avoid. There's a disease that you get when the dead remain unburied for a while, and then the disease can be really bad. It makes you very, very sick and could be deadly. So you have to bury the dead right away. If you're ever in a situation where suddenly there's like hundreds of bodies, you got to start digging. That's all you got to do. It's the only thing you can do. And we knew people when we lived at the lake that had survived this massive tropical cyclone there, where the people they had to work day and night for like 2 weeks to bury an entire village of people who had died. And the only reason anyone knew about it was because one of the villagers had been in San Marcos getting supplies. And then he came and they went back to his village after this massive storm, and no one was left alive in his village. And I think one of the other people had been in one of the other cities around the lake, getting supplies as well. And then they came back and there's like 2 people left to the whole village. Like totally crazy. But we met this guy who said, yeah, you always have to be careful of this disease. And now, damn it, I can't think of it. But I think that this chemical, my son was informed, is suddenly on the lake, had something to do with not getting that disease. So I'm kind of trying to piece things together here, from all the different sources in my mind, which is fuzzy and also hurting because massive cosmic radiation. And a solar wind, that was solar wind. We're going to get a few of these that will knock by December. I read a thing today about this, that by December, we will have all of our negativity knocked out to a point where we don't even remember at all feeling bad for any reason. Can you imagine? like all your fears, all your anxiety, all of what you spent a great chunk of your day thinking about, absolutely gone. And all you feel now is love, happiness, peace, and joy. I read that by December 21st, 2020, that that'll be the completion of an 8-year cycle of ascension, and we will just either be ascended, and the people that choose not to be just won't be anymore. They'll just go on to another planet, and we won't even remember it. It'll just be like, life has always been great, baby. And that's it. Ralph Smart seems to be in that world. He really does, doesn't he? He's constantly happy and upbeat. He has a wonderful life. I think he's been in the 5th dimension for a minute, for a hot minute. All right. Anyway, so that's what's going on in Guatemala. Let's send prayers to Guatemala and El Salvador. Those are very poor countries, and people are very sweet. They remain very happy, and they go about their day, even though they just are struggling. I mean, I lived there in Guatemala 9 months, and lived in several different places, and just every street vendor, man, I'd buy food. Sometimes their food would make us sick a little bit. If it made us sick, we'd never go back and buy it again. But we did everything we could to support the local economy while we were there. And, it was a struggle, for them. And we did our part, we thought, lots of tourists there. So, let's just send loud love to Guatemala and El Salvador. So Nicaragua, I'm sorry. My God, I gotta put my glasses back on. Why did I take them off? Nisarga. So it wasn't Nicaragua, it was Nisarga. To intensify into severe tropical cyclone. The first such storm since 1891. To hit Maharashtra in June. This week is going to be about the tropical storms. I saw a meme today that applies to this. It's this woman, and she's bending down and squinting her eyes through her glasses, and she has her hand over her head, and it says, "This is me," or it says, "Me trying to look outside to see which part of Revelations we're at." The book of Revelations in the Bible. Which part of the prophecy are we in right now? And that's what this is like. Real life is reading like the book. It's really crazy. All right. Anyway, yeah. So severe tropical. So we're having cyclones, storms. From China to Guatemala to India, which is Maharashtra. And here we go. Then the next one, Amanda's remnants emerge in the Bay of Campeche, strengthened to tropical depression, and there's a heavy rainfall warning. So that's again in Central America. And then over here, landslides leave at least 20 people dead in Assam. More than 200,000 people remain still affected by floods. Now that Assam, where is that? I think that's, if I'm not mistaken, that's over in the Middle East. So, what the heck? And then here comes another one. Tropical storm Cristobal forms in the Gulf of Mexico. Another now secondary storm. This is in the past week. In the past 7 days, this has happened. 2 major tropical cyclones. I keep saying that, storms. Cristobal forms in the Gulf of Mexico. Heavy rainfall over now Mexico, Guatemala, Honduras, and El Salvador. So Guatemala and El Salvador got it twice. And then we added a couple extra countries with the second pass with a different storm. Then the next one, severe cyclonic storm, Nisarga, makes historical landfall close to Mumbai, India. So, I guess it got upgraded. Let me see here. I'm going back to look. What did it say before? Anyway, yeah, so there we go. And then at least 3 dead and more than 500,000 people, 500,000, without power as a rare derecho, which means right in Spanish, rips through the mid-Atlantic in the United States. What the hell? A right derecho? What are they even talking about? What planet do I live on suddenly? That's odd. And then it says Russia declares state of emergency after the second largest oil spill in the Arctic Circle. Well, hell's bells, people. Hell's bells shells. That's one of my favorite people on Instagram. And she's friends with other people that listen to the show, and she listens to the show. So that's the name of her Instagram account, Hell's Bells Shells. And I think her name is Shelly or Michelle. But yeah, damn, Hell's Bells, literally. I mean, I don't know about you guys, but it does not feel like, doesn't it not feel like we're in hell? Or, fifth circle of hell? I don't know. Last week it was with the locusts. This week it's with the storms. Massive, like, tornado, hurricane-like storms all over the planet. Well, let's just send a lot of sunshine to all these places, guys. I'm gonna pause this for a quick second, and I'm gonna go look at some fun and weird news. Thank God there wasn't a lot of. I mean, I feel like, with the coronavirus and the political unrest that we got stuck with this week as the next wave of crazy energy coming our way, which was very necessary. Black lives do matter. And here we are in the end times. Seems to me these are absolutely the end times. It is the end of the world as we know it. We're getting ready to birth a new world that's wonderful. And it really makes me mad that at the 11th hour, we have to fight for Black Lives Matter, because Black lives have always mattered. And they should have always mattered to everybody since day frickin' one. It bothers me deeply, disturbs me that this is something we're conversating about right now. Right at the end of the world still. As if there was ever a question that Black lives mattered. Because they always have. I mean, at least for me. And I feel very frustrated with that is one of the issues. Sexism is still, like, women still don't have rights equal to men in the United States. Legally. That just blows my mind. That these are some of the issues that, I mean, this should have taken place in the 1970s, 50 years ago. I mean, I'm surprised we're being allowed to even ascend at all, to be honest. I feel grateful that we're getting the opportunity. It is a 26,000 year cycle, and if we don't make it, we go back into the damn dark ages. So that's what we're facing. Who wants to go back into making stone tools? You know, I certainly don't want to go back to that. I mean, now if you're a witch, we all use stone tools. They're called crystals. And I said that, and I saw a nice purple fairy in my room right when I said that. Hey, waving to the fairy in my room, thinking maybe there's mold in here. Just kidding. I know it's this cosmic radiation crap. Oh my god. And I do have a UV light now, so as soon as I wake up in the morning, putting the UV light in my room, obliterating any and all potential mold. Now I just heard someone downstairs using my coffee pot, and I know that there's nobody on the first floor. This happened the other day. It's a pattern, because if in the next 10 to 15 minutes I hear somebody washing the dishes, which I know damn well no one's going to be washing our dishes, but for us, although I would welcome that, then I know that's a pattern. Where we live, the patterns are heavy patterns. So we're gonna have to clear out all the patterns in this place, but crazy stuff. Anyway, I'm gonna pause this for a minute and go try to find some really fun and lighthearted, weird news for us. We need a little bit of a diversion, maybe for a half hour. What do you guys think? You know, so we could get some good belly laughs going. It's a good way to end our week. Because you know what? We could wake up again tomorrow and join all the protests and sign the petitions and donate our money, donate our time, spend hours in meditation, sending love to all Black lives everywhere, and also hexing all violent oppressors. We could do that tomorrow for 30 minutes. Tonight we can, of course. Take our minds off it, give ourselves some breathing room, and then get back on into the fight tomorrow. I do hear so many roosters crowing right now. Oh my god, I can't believe this cosmic nap happened. Alright, here we go. Okay guys, I found some of the weirdest headlines ever. I'm going to go to that website in a moment. But first, we have to be the responsible thing, and since it's not got a whole lot of press, we probably should check out what's going on with the coronavirus. At least what's being reported. God knows what's actually going on. Literally only God knows. In the United States, by the time you hear me speak these words, it will have already gone up to 2 million cases total in the United States. 2 million. Oh my god. Worldwide, there's 6.8, almost 6.9 million cases in the world. In Brazil, there's 646,000. Russia, 458,689, almost 459,000 cases of coronavirus. Spain, 288,000, and then it goes down from there. UK, India, Italy and India have like 237 and 234,000 cases respectively. Peru has 187,000 cases. Now Ecuador, we were more than Peru before, and we only have, well, because we don't have any test kits, because no one can afford them, because the guy that stole all of them. But in Ecuador, we have 41,575 cases. And the thing is, actually in my state, I think it was like just a week ago, we had 387 cases. Now we have 987. And I think that's why it started to go back up. So we started rolling back the curfew. Now I know why. Yeah, I feel like the rainbow should go off. The more you know. But we have 36 people have died in my state. Osway is where I live. So, there we go. Anyway, so, all right. So that's, now it's affecting 213 countries in the world and territories and 2 international conveyances, like cruise ships. So, all right, there's that. As far as the closed cases, out of all the people who were confirmed to have it and all the people that died, only 11% have died. So that's good news. Remember back a few weeks ago how damn scary it was when it was 21%? And at least there's a bit of ray of hope. If you haven't gotten it and you do get it, now you have, I guess, an 11% chance of dying and 89% chance of surviving. Much better than it was. So, okay, right now only 2% of the cases are in critical or serious condition. And the numbers have come down in that regard. But we have almost 400,000 deaths. By the time you hear this from me, we will have had about 400,000 deaths. By Monday, 400,000 people have died from this. I mean, global pandemic it is, right? A lot of people, remember 2 months ago, it's just a flu. No, sorry guys, not just a flu. And, who's going to have the last laugh? Coronavirus, that's who. The rest of us aren't going to be laughing at all. And if we do, it's going to be laughing through masks. One thing these masks are good for, I don't know if you guys have noticed, is to tell how bad your breath is. I've had people knock on the door right after I've had my coffee. It's like, oh man, grab the mask, put over face, and holy man, I need to brush my teeth again. And it's a good thing I've got a mask on. God. All right, let's see where we're at. I'm trying to go to see how much minutes I have left on the show. Okay, it says, so we're going to have about 20 minutes of crazy headlines. How's that? That'll be something. I'm not going to read all these because some of these don't even make sense. So I'm not the only one that had the mental clarity issue. One-eyed Instagram famous squirrel has now been returned to nature. Not gonna touch that one with a 10-foot pole. That's April 27th, so we're going back that far. Okay. We're gonna skip a couple of these because they're just boring or not odd, and one's just about low gas prices. Obviously it's low because there's no demand at all for it anymore. That took no time at all. Slow news, turtles take over the Kentucky Derby. Oh my god, that's hilarious. Turtles have taken over the Kentucky Derby, guys. Nothing is the same. Absolutely nothing is the same. I wonder what my dad thinks about that one. He used to raise thoroughbreds for the Kentucky Derby. A couple of them came in as winners, too. All right, there's there was a 5-year-old who was pulled over on his way to California to go buy a car. Meanwhile, people that aren't, adhering to any kind of quarantine at all, 5-year-old was out driving a car. And that's what he said. I guess I'm gonna go to California and buy a better car than this one. All right, well, there's that. A state trooper gives masks to a doctor after pulling them over for speeding. Why is a doctor not wearing a mask? In your car, You're hurtling through the air 55 miles an hour. Have you thought to put duct tape on all your air vents? Probably not. I mean, definitely wear a mask in a car. That'd be the easiest way to get coronavirus in a heavily populated area. Driving through without a mask in your car. And I don't know why people think it's, they're saying, oh, those people are idiots. No, they're not. You're the idiot for not wearing a mask in your car. I mean, is there an airlock? Do you get, decontaminated with UV light and ozone while wearing a hazmat suit, between the outside world and your driver's seat? I've never seen a car like that in my life. So you can't tell me your car is a decontaminated zone. I mean, what do you get in and spray Lysol? Take off your mask and drive down the highway? I mean, all the air vents. They're not filtering out viruses, let me tell you. Your air vents are not wearing N95 masks, guys. Alright, this one makes absolutely no freaking sense. I think it says concrete a whiz to make on the moon. I think it's written in code that only Australians can understand. I don't know. Maybe in Australia the word whiz means something different. I don't know. For some reason, I just feel like that just smacks of Aussie talk. And I don't understand all the Aussie talk, even though I find it hysterically funny at times. But I don't even know where this website is from. It's oddee.com. O-D-D-E-E. Odd with 2 E's at the end. That's very oddie. Unmasked panty raids. Wait a minute, I'm sorry. Unmasked man panty raids a Walmart and surrenders to a dog. These are the headlines, guys. You can't. They're too weird. There's no way in hell I would have made that up. No way you could make that up. A man steals wine from a wine truck driving down the highway. Well, that's about right. I can't believe he stole from it while it's driving. Maybe it stopped and I don't know. I'm not gonna stop to read this headline. If you want to read it, though, it's on oddee.com. Man steals wine from wine truck driving down the highway. You know how many times I've seen a truck hauling beverages somewhere, and I'm thinking, God, if I could somehow get him to pull over, or if I see him pulling over, maybe I could just grab a case of that, Snapple or Coca-Cola or whatever, you know what I mean? Whatever. And like the odd thoughts that you have when you're bored out of your mind driving in the desert. Apparently somebody had that thought and acted on it. You're not supposed to act on it, guys. You can have the thought, but don't act on it. Club Omaha plans to reopen, but with masks and gloves. Okay. That sounds about right. I mean, the quarantine is being lifted in several places. These are, I'm doing all of the, by the way, the headlines for the past month of May. Boston police woo a runaway peacock with a serenade. Aw. Oh my God, that's got to be hysterical. Oh, I just thought of the Boston accent. Oh my God, I hope someone caught that on tape. I mean, that's got to be on YouTube somewhere. I can't watch it now because I will probably die laughing and wake up the whole neighborhood. I'll be yelping. I'll be howling so loud. Oh my God. Boston police woo a runaway peacock with a serenade. I mean, that's comedy gold, guys. That's got to go into a movie somewhere. Now you can dine out with dummies. I think they mean actual dummies and not your unintelligible friends after a few drinks. Police apprehend robbers masked in melons. That's just too insane, even for me. I can't even with that. I can't even deal with that one. Okay, Alright, so we're getting towards the end of May. This is good already. It's going fast. Congratulations to Harry Ascrack. Oh my god. Mississippi high school grad. Oh my god. So somebody did it. They finally did it. It looks like there was a diploma given, or at least, created, and they called the name Harry Ascrack. Yeah, congratulations. You guys could go and read up. I don't have time to read the whole stories. I'm just reading the headlines here. If something strikes me as incredibly hilarious, I might go and read it, but most of these seem pretty straightforward, right? Hide your picnic baskets. Yogi is on the prowl. Doesn't say where, but it looks like there's a bear on the loose, basically in town. Probably because they're doing the right thing and hiding from the coronavirus like the rest of us. So the bears and through all across the globe, there's obviously, we just read about turtles, bears, ducks, goats, elephants, all kinds of animals, baboons, monkeys. All over the world, animals have taken over the cities again because the humans are nowhere to be found. That's got to be a really freaky feeling if the animals are thinking about it. From the animals' perspective, it's like, what the hell happened to humans? I don't know, check out the statue. Yeah, it's weird. Alright. A baby stuns her parents as she stands at 8 weeks old. Wow. My kids rolled over on the day they were born. And they did not even create a feat such as this. They did not stand at 8 weeks old, that's for damn sure. They both at 8 weeks old said, "I love you." It was very clear, and they said it repeatedly. Those were their first words, both my kids. The first words was a sentence, and it was "I love you," but it wasn't really "I love you." It was more like "I dove you," with a D. Super cute. Super, super eerie as hell to have a baby speaking to you at 2 months old. But it was awesome. Both my kids are awesome. And in a few months, they'll both be adults. Crazy. But, yeah, I can't imagine that. She stands up at 8 weeks old? Damn. I bet they use Baby Plus. If you're pregnant or know anyone, I swear to God, use Baby Plus. Make your baby a Baby Plus baby. I did, and it sounds, you play for your baby in the womb, it grows their neuronal connections. They grow up to be very, very intelligent beings, as well as very sympathetic to their fellow humans. A lot more willing to share, blocks in kindergarten, and a lot more intelligent emotionally than the average human as adults. And my kids are testimony to that. So yeah, definitely. Baby Plus. I wonder if this baby wasn't Baby Plus. If not, maybe her parents are musicians. Alright, here we go. I'm going to check where we at. Where are we at with the time? Alright, we got a few more headlines we could read. Hiker and dog discover an ape body parts in German woods. No. Just no. Pushing that one back under. Under where it came from. Taking off the gloves and walking away. I don't want to say I hope it's a Sasquatch so that we have proof. But, wow. Hiker and dog discover 8 body parts in German woods. Not today. Not going to read that one today. Meth cook. I've been watching Breaking Bad with my kid. I've been watching for weeks now. We've been, every chance we get, we sit down and watch 10 or 20 minutes of an episode. Then my son gets distracted, or I have to go to the bathroom. I don't know. Something happens. Knock at the door. Usually it's a dog paw that knocks at the door. More often than not, we have our dogs. They're our neighbors, but they're dogs. They're wolf dogs. They knock on the door. They come in. They sigh and they flop down and fall asleep. Meth cook tries to tell police he's making a healthy meth substance. Right, the healthy meth. That's what every discerning meth head wants. They want to be healthy with a healthy meth. Somebody alert Walter White. His territory is being taken over. Speaking of turtles, a turtle smashes through a woman's windshield as she drives down the highway. What is up with the turtles getting so damn aggressive? They're taking over the Kentucky Derby. They're smashing into people's windows. Poor turtles. Poor turtles. I love the turtles. Here's a strange one. A jailer gave birth without the guards even noticing. So, I mean, a jailer is a guard, right? So, how the hell does that happen? I mean, seriously. Narcissistic much? They can look up from their phones to notice that their coworker is having a baby right there in front of them, and she couldn't call 911 on her phone. Maybe they didn't have phones. You know, usually in jail you don't. Very weird. But it says that they say jailer, and guards implies prison. So if you guys want to go check it out, Audi.com. I'm looking at this going, well, I don't have time for this. I don't want to look at the article. All right. There's one called The Weirdest Beauty Trends That You Have Seen Yet. And it doesn't say haven't. I'm just going to ignore that one entirely. I might look at it later. If it's of any value, I'll read it to you guys later. The truth about fake news. That sounds boring. The coronavirus challenge. That sounds dangerous. Woman who wrestles a fox gets tested for rabies. Oh, part 1 and part 2. Two-parter story. A woman who wrestles a fox gets tested for rabies. Well, if you lay down with dogs, you wake up with fleas, so maybe if you throw down with foxes, you wake up with rabies. Oh my God. How could you even... Foxes are incredibly fast. They're wily. That's why we're called foxes. Had to throw my own... I mean, it's my last name. Come on. What do you want from me? It's my last name, Foxes. No, she actually threw down with a real fox. An actual animal fox. Not a guy whose last name is Fox. And got tested for rabies. Crazy. They have an article on the craziest blackjack wins that cannot be true if you want to go check it out, as well as the weirdest places on earth to live. A few more things like that. Let's see. All right, here we go. Going right back up to the weird articles. A pro-United States runner attempts to run the world's fastest mile while wearing blue jeans. Oh my God. Oh my God, the chafing. Oh my God, somebody call him a lotion sponsor. Oh my God. Somebody get him a Band-Aid. Oh, so many things wrong with that. But also, I hope you won the record. Is there a record for running in jeans? That man deserves a piece of paper saying he did that. Maybe even a hunk of metal with his name on it, in the form of a trophy. Alligators knock on a Florida woman's door mid-fight. That sounds about right. Really, that sounds about right. That's kind of hilarious, actually. Excuse me, ma'am, we're in the middle of something. We're fighting, but do you have a Band-Aid? Maybe you got a couple, chickens laying around. We're also hungry. This fight's kind of exhausting. Thank you. If you could, if you could, ma'am. Alligators knock on a Florida woman's door mid-fight. Why do people live in Florida, dude? Why? Is it the white, sandy, powdery beaches that get everywhere? That sand gets everywhere. It's not like California beaches, which are cool and respectable, and the sand grains are so thick that you can just brush them off with your hand and bada boom, bada bing. It's not an issue. My husband who died, he used to live in Florida. He said he hated the beaches. It was like laying in the sun on a bed of powdered sugar. That's what he said. It was that the sand was so tiny, minuscule. It was like uncomfortable. It's like almost like laying down in powdery dirt. I'm like, how do they even live with that? That and the alligator, I would be the hell out of there. I got a few friends down there, Jude, Michelle. I want to come and meet you guys in person that listen to the show, but I don't see how people live. What else do they have besides the flamingos and the palm trees? Okay, I could see that. The gorgeous view, I could see that. Dolphins. And plus, you're really close to the Bermuda Triangle. You probably get all kinds of crazy-ass stories. I love that, so I don't know. The ocean is just as gross as you thought. It's filled with mucus. Oh my God, I am not reading that story. You know what? That's it. That's all she wrote. I cannot even with that. That's gross. Is it because of the coronavirus? Oh, God. Maybe that's what all these tropical storms are. It's just the ocean sneezing. That was odd. I guess, you get what you expect. You go to Audi.com, you're going to read some odd things. Turtles flying through windshields and alligators politely knocking on the door mid-fight. That's crazy. I can't. Can you imagine answering the door, though? Thinking it's a human? And you open the door and you're like, what the actual hell? I'm not in on this. Slam the door shut. I'd slam the door. I'd be like, nope. Not today. Not today, son. Not today. No way. Five-year-olds driving to California to get a different car. Two-month-old babies standing up. I'm going to tell you guys, I hope that 2-year-old baby actually learns how to crawl. She might be standing up, but babies need to crawl first. They need to. It's necessary to make these cross connections in the corpus callosum of the brain. And if you don't make these very strong cross connections that crawling makes you create in your brain, you will end up with dyslexia. I discovered that as an adult, and the teacher said, if you're an adult with dyslexia, how do you improve it? You literally go back to the floor and you start crawling around every day for 20 minutes. So to avoid looking like an idiot, I got myself a cat and I started crawling around the floor, and I got a lot of fur. And I had to sneeze a lot. See, just thinking about it. I think I do have a lot of dust in my room just to think about it, but I did improve my dyslexia a little bit though. And then I don't know what happened. I just stopped crawling on the floor, and then had my children and I started crawling on the floor with them, and I made darn sure we played games where we were crawling on the floor. I did not want my kids to be dyslexic, and I don't think they are. Now, my husband, he was also dyslexic. We made sure we crawled around on the floor with the kids and the cats and my wolf. We did. We crawled and crawled and crawled, and I don't think my kids have dyslexia. Maybe, but it would be very mild if they do. But that's how you do it. That's how you get rid of it, guys. All right. That's it. That's the show for the week. I will be back on Monday with all unique and original programming, just like always. And Monday we will be tackling the next lesson in Practical Mind Reading by William Walker Atkinson. So that'll be really cool, actually. And I am up for a People's Choice Award starting in July. The voting is only open from the 1st through the 31st. So go ahead and set your calendar if you think I deserve it. If you want to at least nominate me. It's an honor just to be nominated, as they say. Go ahead and set your iCalendars or Google Calendar for July 1st. Just say, vote for Metaphysical Soul Speak the podcast. I'm going to tell you in July where to go to actually vote for me. I won't give out those instructions until that day, because there's no sense in it, because you can't vote until that day anyway. But you can mark it in your calendars and think about it. Tell your friends, tell your family members, tell everybody you know, because it'd be pretty damn cool to win an award. By the time July rolls around, I think that makes, about 500 episodes I will have made. I mean, heaven willing and the creeks don't rise. And who the hell knows with the weather out the way it's been lately. Actually, the creeks did rise behind my house. I don't know if you... I'm not near it because it's so cold outside. Can't believe how freaking cold it is. We go down an elevation like 300 feet. And it's so cold at night. Warmer in the day, but damn, it's cold. By the way, those birds that I was telling you guys about, we found out what they were. They're not birds. What are they? You guys, they're frogs. Frogs. Whoa. Ecuadorian frogs. That's how they speak in Spanish here. I'm just kidding. That's like frog Spanish, right? I've never heard a frog make that sound in my life. And I love frogs. Amphibians are cool. So one of these days, I'm going to try to go find one of these frogs. See if I can't record it. No wonder they stop when you approach, because they're on the ground. They hear you coming through the vibrations, probably in their cute little frog feet. Oh my gosh. frogs. I had no idea. Didn't even think about that. Ecuador always has amazing things to offer, and I learn new things every week here. Anyway, it's time for me to sleep and learn new things in my dreams. I love you guys. I love each and every one of you, and thank you for listening to the show and sticking with it. A lot of you have been with me since the beginning. I really appreciate that. I love you. I wish I could give you all a big hug, but virtually at a social distance right now. And with that thought, I'm signing off with peace and joy and the high vibes of the Holy Fifth Dimension. Till next time, guys, peace. Metaphysical Soul Speak is run on sponsors and listener support. This means listeners like you. If you are so inclined to support my efforts and my little podcast, please visit me at anchor.fm/metaphysical and pledge an amount of your choosing today. Thank you.